Hey, whatever you want to talk about.
We live now. So what do you want to talk about, Tal? We wasting all this information.
You can talk about Triple G. You can go a lot of different. I'm ready to talk Wild, Triple G, everything, man.
Well, talk about Wilder getting 12 million. 12.5, whatever it is.
You know, the funny thing about the whole Wilder and Anthony Joshua thing is people with common sense, when you heard that Anthony Joshua was set to make Deontay Wilder an offer due to the pressure from people telling him he needed to make this fight, he was like, okay, let's see what this cat gonna do. Mm-hmm. So the thing is, with me, I'm not buying what they're selling, because how are you going to offer percentage-wise and give percentage-wise Joseph Parker 30 to 35%, but you're basically offering Deontay Wilder 12% of possibly $100 million purse. So they knew that Deontay Wilder would turn it down. Mm-hmm. So basically, this was just like their exit strategy. Say, see, we tried to make the fight. Shit, even when Floyd offered Manny Pacquiao $40 million out of a potential $100 million.
And he was going to wire him 20. And he was going to wire him $20 million as soon as he signed the contract.
Yeah. And then he did, and Floyd actually did tell Manny Pacquiao he was going to get a percentage of the pay-per-view, but then it worked out. So Manny turned that down. Mm-hmm. Now, keep in mind, they tried to say, oh, well, Floyd wasn't serious. He tried to play Manny Pacquiao, but he offered that dude $40 million. So it still would have been 40%, even though they ended up getting more money a few years later. Yeah. This thing with Wilder and Anthony Joshua is just showing that he just doesn't want to fight Deontay Wilder. To offer him an insulting 12%, he's showing that he's just trying to get out of not fighting Deontay Wilder. And let's just cut the shit, Fred, about the whole popularity thing. Anthony Joshua ain't that damn popular. Because if that was the case, like I said,
he's popular. It's just regional. It's just regional popularity.
Yeah, just where he is.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
He would, and if he was so popular, Fred, people would line up to watch him on TV.
He's not worldwide.
400,000 on regular TV. And let's just cut the shit about him selling out 70,000 seat stadiums. Those tickets. And this has been told by people that's actually out there. Those tickets, American money, ain't no higher than $40. Mm-hmm. So let's see, can Anthony Joshua sell out 70,000 seats, charging what Floyd would charge, like 10,000 a wop? I guarantee you not. So you would go too if those tickets was dirt cheap. So it's sort of like a fraud to a certain degree about Anthony Joshua's suspected popularity. Mm-hmm. And if you look, Deontay Wilder has more Twitter followers. Deontay Wilder is arguably more popular than Anthony Joshua. And people just don't want to see it. I don't understand some of these boxing fans, man. They say their dude could do this, he could do that, but then when you say, well, why don't you tell him to make the fight, then all of a sudden the hesitation comes, and then you hear people say, oh, well, Deontay Wilder hasn't fought anybody, and then you like, okay, well, who the fuck did Anthony Joshua fight? His best win is against a 41-year-old Klitschko, whether people like it or not. And then he struggled against Joseph Parker. Deontay Wilder knocked Luis Ortiz the fuck out. He finished him, you know. So when I hear people try to make these excuses about, well, he's not, well, Anthony Joshua is the A side, and well, how much of an A side he really is?
How much? I will say this: he has more belts. I would respect the belts, but not 12%, not 88 to 12. Yeah.
I understand that he has more belts than Deontay Wilder, but at the same time, you do want to give a dude a fair amount.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for that. They won't explain to me, why are you offering Deontay Wilder less money than Joseph Parker? That's the point that I'm trying to make.
Well below fair.
Can I sit up there and say that Joseph Parker was a bigger threat, or that he was a more popular fighter, or that Joseph Parker had a better resume than Deontay Wilder? Because that would be a complete fucking lie. Mm-hmm. So basically, what's going down, as I said, what they did to Deontay Wilder, they did the typical here nigga, take this, and that's all we gonna give you. We're not even gonna negotiate. Take it or leave it.
Yeah.
And basically, they know Deontay Wilder would say, well, I'm going to leave it. You just really don't want to fight, because that's what they tried to do. But people are still getting on them because people see right through it.
Yeah,
they can't explain.
Once Deontay Wilder move on, we should move on. You know what I mean? It's like fuck him because no matter how much money he makes over there, he still wants to come to America. You know?
Well, are you sure that you know what, Fred? To make an international star, how they saying Anthony Joshua is supposed to be, he has to fight in the United States, and he just don't seem interested in fighting in the United States because every time they ask him, well, when are you going to fight in the States? Oh, well, why do I have to come out there? Mm-hmm. Say what you want to say about like guys like Lennox Lewis. Lennox Lewis fought wherever he had to fight. So that's why Lennox Lewis finished his career on a high note as being, a top heavyweight. Mm-hmm. That's why he went to the Hall of Fame, and that's why people to this day talk about Lennox Lewis still. Even though Lennox Lewis, when he fought, he didn't have the most charismatic attitude. He wasn't, you know what I'm saying, he didn't demand the cameras, but, you know what I'm saying, he still was a great fighter.
Yeah.
And you're not seeing that in Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua gets upset when you ask him about Deontay Wilder. I mean, he gets really mad.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, dude, it's one way, Fred, you can solve this problem. Fight the man and give him a fair deal. And then you get a lot of these idiots that come on here saying, oh, well, Wilder doesn't deserve what Joseph Parker did. And I'm like, okay, based off what? You're an idiot. And then I have to say, I look at some of these people that troll our channels making these comments about Deontay Wilder. These people are not all from the UK.
Mm.
Okay, and I'm going to go there. They're not from the UK, and they're not black. So that's why I throw all that shit about the patriotism shit out the door, because I don't want to hear that. Deontay Wilder is an American fighter, and he should be getting the support from the American fighters. But yet people will go out of their way to support Anthony Joshua for no reason, just because it is Deontay Wilder. And a lot of these people really don't like Anthony Joshua. It's more of the fact that they're supporting Eddie Hearn versus Anthony Joshua.
Mm.
Oh, all this is playing a role in this shit with Deontay Wilder. How could you not like Deontay Wilder? I thought he's the polar opposite of Floyd and Andre Ward.
Mm-hmm.
He's knocked everybody out. But yet people are not satisfied. But then, as I said before, but yet you're praising Gennady Golovkin for the people he's fought and knocked out. This doesn't make any kind of damn sense, and we all know what the reason is.
Yeah, he's scared. He's scared.
I think he past scared. I think he more like petrified. He kind of remind me of Richard Pryor from Bustin' Loose. I mean, for real. That man is just blatantly afraid. And he showed it. His attitude, his demeanor. I mean, for real, he was like, okay, well, I'm going to just offer you this, and we know you're going to turn it down. So we'll say, hey, well, we tried to fight. I wonder what would have happened if Deontay Wilder would have said, okay, I'll take it. They knew he was going to turn it down.
But they also said they didn't have a date, a location, when, so.
Yeah, this just reminds me of that shit Bob Arum pulled, remember when he said Floyd Mayweather got 2 weeks to sign the contract?
And Floyd was like, what contract?
Yeah, Floyd was, this reminds me of that. They didn't have a venue. They didn't have a date. They didn't even have no numbers available for Floyd. But then, yet you had these idiots. See, Floyd, he's scared. He's scared of Pacquiao. He's scared of Pacquiao. I just was laughing. And then you heard all this shit about the outdoor stadium, the 40,000 out. Man, if you don't get your ass out of here, we already know, Fred, what's going on with these guys. They're not trying to make this fight. They are trying to prolong this as long as possible. They are trying to age Deontay Wilder out. Deontay Wilder, I think, is 33 now. Anthony Joshua is 28. They basically trying to old man him out. If they can put this fight off till 2020, they will. But they don't want to do it now because they think that Deontay Wilder in a couple of years will have lost a step. And then they figure if they fight him and whatever the case may be, whether they beat him or not, they can have an excuse. they can say, well, if they lose, if they beat them, they say, hey, well, we fought them and said shit. But then at the same time, you'd be like, well, look, Deontay Wilder was 30, 35 at the time. They trying to age him out. They basically trying to look for an excuse to beat or lose to him. They can say, well, you know what I'm saying? That's what they doing. The thing is with Anthony Joshua, you can't be a belt holder, Fred, and then you don't want to defend it against certain people. Now, like I keep saying, if you don't want to fight Wilder, man, give up the belts, and we'll leave you alone. I've been saying that for the longest. But you can't be a champion, but then you're not talking about unifying. How many more fucking tune-up fights do you need?
Sure.
Okay?
Tune-up
fight in between Parker. This motherfucking fight right there, so we all can see it. I'm telling you that the best where it can be. I mean, I'm talking about it's like when you boiling water and the water is starting to like spill over the pot and shit, like when you cooking rice and shit.
Yeah,
so this
Uncle
is
Ben's. Literally Uncle Ben's.
Well, I only eat brown rice anyway. But anyway.
No, I was talking about Uncle. Emphasis on Uncle. Uncle Ben. Uncle.
Yeah. Well, Anthony Joshua acted like uncle, all right, but it started with a T. But at the end of the day, I'm just saying, Fred, it's time to make this fight, man. We need to see it. The fans want it. Everybody wants it. The only people that's not sure of this fight is the AJ fans. I keep saying, if you support a guy, you're supposed to push for a fight.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to say, yeah, AJ will kick Wilder's ass.
Yeah.
Why don't we get this fight? But you hear these dudes talking about numbers and who don't deserve what and all this stupid shit, because it's kind of getting tired where you hear certain fighters fans saying who don't deserve a fight and all that type of shit. Because when you start seeing who don't deserve a fight, then you gotta ask that question. Well, okay, well, what about this dude? So then they can't answer that question. So basically what we have is people coming up with a bunch of false narratives and phrases to justify, the bullshit that's going on in boxing, Fred. It's just like, in hip-hop now, you got these clowns, when they, get exposed for not being who they say they are and shit. They making up words, calling it clout chasing and all that stupid shit. Yeah. So, yeah, it's just absurd what you see with some of these fans and shit. A lot of these people really just don't understand boxing and shit. You want to fight somebody, but at the same time, you want to be paid what you should get. And Deontay Wilder is worth more than $12 million. And I don't want to hear about that's his highest payday and all that type of shit. Because when people when people was bitching about what Canelo's supposed to offer Triple G, when they said, well, we offered him $9 million, well, Triple G deserves more than that. So all of a sudden, people want to holler about Triple G's wallet, but then they saying we shouldn't be counting Deontay Wilder's wallet. Well, this is what the numbers they put out. So obviously they wanted us to talk about it. So as Deion Sanders would say, pay the man.
Yeah, he ain't.
Get this fight over.
Nah, it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. Well, and you know what I really want? I want Deontay Wilder to knock Jarrell Miller out. God, I want him to knock him out. I want him trying to get up and he keep on falling.
I don't want to see the dude get like seriously hurt. But
no, I'm not wishing death upon him. I just want him to lose, man, so he can go somewhere.
Well, I don't know whether that fight is going to happen right now anyway. I want to see what the next move is going to be. I want to see.
I definitely want to see where the next move is so so everything can start piecing up together, Because
you got to ask yourself, okay, well, what direction is Anthony Joshua going to go? Because at the end of the day, Fred, they are sort of like running out of options. I mean, okay, so what's left? Povetkin, a rematch with Dillian White, Miller, those type of dudes. Because I don't understand why are they saying, okay, you need to fight Dillian White. I mean, okay, so Dillian White knocked out a bomb in Lucas Brown. Even though I enjoy seeing Lucas Brown laid out on the ground like that, because even though I enjoyed that, but come on, Fred, let's not make it look like Lucas Brown was like a world beater and shit. Lucas Brown wasn't even in shape for that fight. He was overweight. you could just tell he didn't even really train for that fight.
Yeah.
So let's not make it look like this dude, like Dillian White, knocked out Luis Ortiz or something. It was Lucas Brown. So what happens is, okay, so if Deontay Wilder goes in there and he flatlines Dillian White, okay, so what's next, Fred? What's next after that?
Then they would see if Tyson Fury has a date set up. I mean, to avoid Wilder. I'm talking about if they really wanted to avoid Wilder. Anthony Joshua would have to fight this summer. Not Anthony Joshua. Tyson Fury would have to fight this summer for the tune-up, and they can really duck Deontay Wilder, and boxing fans won't go crazy, you know?
Me, myself, I have my doubts about Tyson Fury, whether he'll be able to come back and fight at the level that he fought before, you know, he ran into all his problems outside of the ring. The man moved up to 400 pounds. You got to ask yourself, Fred, can you really find the shape to the point to where you can become a top heavyweight again? Sure. And I'm not going to be fooled by him fighting some tomato can that they're going to find to put in front of him, and he may stop this dude. You know, I have to see him at least 3 or 4 fights in. So that's the problem with Tyson Fury. That's just the honest to God truth. There's a difference, Fred, between being in fighter shape and then just being in regular shape.
Sure, I get it.
A lot of people don't know that. Mm-hmm. Will he ever be able to get back in fighter shape?
Well,
and that fight, Fred, was what, 2015, 2016?
October 2015, right?
Okay, yeah. So you basically ain't been in the ring in 3 years. Do you really think you could come back and like fight at a high level like you did versus Klitschko? You just have to ask that question. So it's going to be a lot of questions.
Oh, he's going to get a payday.
Fury.
Oh, Fury's getting a payday. You best believe that.
Oh yeah, he's gonna come back, but then, like I said, will he be able to be the Tyson Fury that we saw like a few years back? Me myself, I highly doubt that.
No, weight gain takes a toll on you because it becomes a fat camp, not a training camp. You know.
Yeah, basically, he has to get rid of the fat just so he could try to get into boxing shape.
Tyson Fury is tailor made for Anthony Joshua. Because he'll increase the cachet of the fight and Anthony Joshua, and if he's conditioned enough, he'll beat the hell out of Tyson Fury. You know what I mean? Because he won't be fighting at the weight he should be fighting at.
Yeah. So the funny part about it is, okay, so how will they find a way to fit Tyson Fury in there? Because let's just say he has a tune-up fight and he's successful, and then Anthony Joshua goes right to Tyson Fury. Once again, you have that question like, dude, you don't want to fight Deontay Wilder, who's been active, but you going to fight a dude coming off a 3-year layoff and fighting a bump. This will further prove that Anthony Joshua is afraid of Deontay Wilder. Fred, it could get to a point to where you can't keep having ready-made answers for prepared questions.
Mm-hmm. I got you.
How many ready-made answers you gonna be able to come up with to justify your actions against making or not making certain fights?
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Everything we're saying is true, and we're kind of beating a dead horse anyway. I want to see how Showtime is gonna help the process and see if they can get the fight, because Showtime wants Anthony Joshua under contract. So, because I asked Steven Espinoza, March 31st was his last fight with Showtime. So, but
I'm gonna tell you right now, I know me and you both know that HBO is sort of like had the eye on Anthony Joshua. If he signs,
he could save him actually. He actually could save HBO to a certain degree if he fights 3 times a year. Kind of like Mike Tyson. Kind of like what Tyson did for Showtime, right? He could save him.
Yeah, but if he signs the deal with HBO, that's going to further make it difficult to make it difficult to get a Deontay Wilder fight, because Deontay Wilder fights, you know, pretty much on Showtime, and then here you go again. You're gonna have a network war, and I just don't think people would want to go through that again. And I do think that Eddie Hearn is trying to hurry up and push the deal through HBO.
Right.
HBO so they can further avoid fighting Deontay Wilder. Now, if it happens, this will be all the proof that we need that these dudes are not trying to make that fight. I don't believe they're trying to make it anyway, but this would be what you call the nail in the coffin. This would be at the end of a trial where you say, Your Honor, I'll rest my case. It's fact. These dudes do not want to fight Wilder.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
All right, Fred, let's talk about the other guy. Let's talk about the other